This is an open letter to President Biden, Dr. Fauci, Dr. Walensky, Governor Murphy, Dr. Margaret Fisher, Mayor Bill de Blasio, and as a matter of fact, all elected officials, all enforcement. After this week, I'm looking for every politician, every law enforcement specialist, the U.S. Department of Justice. This is for you. My name is Jack Roberts. Now, before I begin, please understand that I am not anti-vaxxer. I'm not an anti-vax person, nor am I a person who took this pandemic lightly. Last year, when this started, I created and ran a program to sell masks. And with all the profits, I purchased the best possible disinfectant products that were currently available to kill this virus. These were products that were used in the labs that were working with the virus. And I donated them to every open essential business in my community. And this included hospitals, first responders, grocery workers, food service workers, postal workers, everybody. Anybody who was working and needed masks or needed supplies, we donated to them. We sold the other masks to the general public to pay for everything, but this was all donated to any business. Here's an example. Every week I would fill my car with supplies to deliver to all the essential businesses in my community. These CleanPro, those are actually pads that are used for clean rooms. Before entering a lab, scientists would walk across these mats to kill and remove dirt, germs, and viruses. Our bagel store had these, along with any essential business that was open. Last year, I had a great opportunity to hear from some of the world's greatest experts on this new coronavirus. I listened to podcasts and recordings from the top scientists and doctors around the world. I scoured all the government sites, including the CDC and the NIH and the FDA, and I also studied peer-reviewed journals from around the world. I asked our government to share what we did to help other areas. I actually created a video to show how we beat this COVID and what we could do, and we did this all without $1 in taxpayer money. What did our government officials do? Absolutely nothing. And that's when I started doing some research. And I found out that our government was doing the opposite of what was supposed to be done according to our government experts. You see, it was about 10 years ago, our government scientists suggested during the next pandemic, that's this one right now, that we should have an open air treatment. Yet our government sent infected people back to nursing homes and kept people in the city locked down in apartment buildings. And then I started doing some research about the treatments. I and I know firsthand that the government were not following treatment methods. I found out that treatments were working around the world, but we were not using them in the United States. As a matter of fact, the treatments that were working, look at this one example here. Here's 84 studies, 49 of which were peer reviewed. This means early treatment, 100% success rate when they were treated early. We could have saved hundreds of thousands of lives if we just would have followed what was now published in the American Journal of Medicine in January of 2021. This actually works. And now I want you to talk to another peer-reviewed journal called Nature. Nature has been around for a long time. As a matter of fact, Nature's been around longer than the CDC and the FDA and longer than Dr. Fauci. And in May, they published an article saying that COVID, if you've been infected with COVID, you really don't need to get this. Some say you may have it for a lifetime of immunity from this virus. Okay? There's long-lived bone marrow plasma cells that help you fight this forever. Now, my question is, why are we not hearing about this? I want to know what science our government is relying that debunks what was published by a world-renowned peer-reviewed scientific journal in May of 2020. and also in JAMA of June 9th, 2021. And just recently, in August 18th, I think it was, Rutgers University also said the same thing. So where are you getting research and where are you getting this information that shows you that people who had this virus need to get a vaccine? I mean, again, the journal Nature has been around longer than the FDA and the CDC. I know we're supposed to trust the FDA on this vaccine. First of all, are these really vaccines? These aren't vaccines at all. And we should trust the FDA because they've never had any problem with drugs that they approved and then later found out that they're not really as safe as they said they were. Okay, this is a thing that's kind of frustrating for me because we're told to trust the FDA when the FDA makes mistakes all the time. Then we're supposed to trust the CDC. But why? Even the New York Times just admitted the CDC may be broken beyond repair. CDC makes deadly mistakes. Past vaccine disasters show why rushing a coronavirus vaccine would be colossally stupid. Coronavirus, how a CDC lab contamination and a failure to cooperate led to the catastrophe. Why do I need to trust the CDC? Again, I'd scoured all these government sites. There's not one government site that provides any science for those who had the virus. Okay? Look at the one thing that they say. It is possible that you could be infected with the virus that caused COVID-19 again. There's absolutely no research available about getting this genetic therapy or coronavirus vaccine after having it. You're telling us to do this. Why are you hiding the research from us? Okay, Governor Murphy, you're forcing people to get vaccinated who don't need it. Why are you doing this? Are you some kind of knucklehead? Why don't you believe in science? You have the right to ignore science, but you have no right to force your ignorant, non-scientific methods on the public. And neither does any government official. People ask, they say, why are African Americans reporting low rates of COVID-19 vaccination? Are you kidding me? The common sense answer to why African Americans are not getting likely to get the COVID vaccine is very simple. I had the opportunity to work in the delivering products to hospitals and laboratories during this pandemic. And I found out that a lot of the essential workers in the city are African American and Hispanic people. And they all got this virus, and they know people who had it, and they know it was no big deal for them. They got over it. They didn't even know they had symptoms, and they know that people who got the vaccine after having the virus had serious side effects. So they don't want to get it because they don't need it. Why are you forcing people who medically do not need, nor should they even get it? Why are you doing this to people? Again, many essential workers, we had the virus and recovered. Could it be that people exposed to viruses and germs have stronger immune systems? They know people who got the vaccine and got sick from that. Is there any correlation of people who had the virus and then got the vaccine? I've seen it firsthand. So basically, our government, our knucklehead government, is forcing essential workers, many black and Hispanics, to risk their lives or go without freedom. And you don't think this is racist? Unless you provide answers and scientific peer-reviewed journals that debunk the Rutgers study and the Nature study, unless you provide, we're going to ignore all your rules. You're killing restaurants and small business, and this vaccine card is completely racist. If you are a restaurant owner in the United States and have been affected by these government shutdowns, I'm doing whatever I can to help you. I'm not charging anything, just like when the local businesses, I didn't ever charge them for anything. I'm not going to charge anything for any restaurant owner who's looking for help. We're looking for coaching and coming up with ideas on how to beat this insane government takeover of small businesses. This racist takeover that they're doing right now has to be stopped. So, I'm going to share another video and more videos that will share more facts on this and what we need to do and what we are doing wrong according to science. So for more information, go to jackroberts.coach, follow me there or go to Facebook, facebook.com/Coach Jack Roberts, and follow me there. God bless, and I look forward to talking to you soon.